All right, Buck, let's get it going here. Let's go corners. I believe I'm up first. Not going to spend any time going into this one because I think we're both on the same page here. Even though he's a young player going into year number 2, I got the first pick. I'm going Sauce Gardner from the Jets. I can feel comfortable. Leave him out there. Don't worry about it. You want to play. You want to get up in their face. Play physical. He can do that at the line of scrimmage. He can carry verticals with his speed. He can find and play the ball. He's more than a willing tackler. And I love the preparation he puts into it as well. You get all the off the field stuff dialed in as well. So to me, it's really a no brainer. I'm going to take Sauce Gardner with the first pick.
Man, how rare is it for a guy to be a rookie player to come into the league and rank as the best cornerback in the league? He is everything that everyone talked about. I think he's exceeded everybody's expectations immediately. Size, athleticism, strength. But DJ, the part that you talked about, the preparation. When you met him, you talked to him. He was serious about his craft, and is one of the reasons why he's played really, really well from the first time he stepped into the league. This is interesting, DJ, because I'm going to go with Yari Alexander from the Green Bay Packers here in this pick. And the reason why I like Yari Alexander is because his ability to lock up and play man-to-man is essential. But also under Joe Barry, he now has the opportunity to play more zone, more eyes on the ball. That lends itself to put his hands on the ball, more vision on the ball, see the breaks, get interceptions, and do those things. This is the year where everyone is going to talk about the loss of Aaron Rodgers. But I think at the end of the year, what we're talking about, the emergence of the Packers defense, more pressures on them to be able to keep the score down. I think they kind of respond. And part of that is because Alexander's playing on the perimeter.
Yeah, no, he's a stud. Big fan of his game. I remember him coming out, how twitched up and fluid and explosive he was coming out of college. It translated immediately to the Packers. Been a great player. Okay, I've got a couple different areas that I can go here. Might surprise you on this one because there are some other good ones out there. But I'm going to go Pat Surtain the second here. Just in terms of the size and physicality, I feel like the things I said about Sauce Gardner, you get a lot of those same things with him. Look, this is a Denver team that did not play great last year. I think this is a year where there's some renewed energy there with Sean Payton. He is the building block to me of this defense. Get him out there, get him healthy for 17 games, and I think he'll firmly establish himself as one of the premier players at his position. He can do everything. I love the size. I love the physicality that he possesses. So a couple different areas I could have gone, but I'm going to go with the Denver Bronco.
It's funny, DJ, that you talk about that because I'm sitting here talking about Pat Surtain, and it's funny because we had all these conversations leading to the draft, and then Surtain has been exactly what everyone hoped that he could be in terms of lockdown corner that can play variety of tools in the toolbox, and so he certainly is deserving of being in that conversation. So now, DJ, here's where we're at because we're at an interesting place in terms of we can talk about the young guys or we can talk about the old guys, and so. The guy who has always been celebrated as the top corner for the last 5 years has been Jalen Ramsey. So I'm going to take Jalen Ramsey at this spot, but I'm going to do it with an asterisk. The one thing about Jalen, I would say, is last year was not his best year. And I think we're right at the point where you begin to wonder, is his play going to drop off? Now, maybe that was boredom, maybe because the team wasn't as good, he wasn't as locked in. I think we see a different Jalen Ramsey show up.
We'll see the better version of him this year. I'm confident on that. He was a little disinterested. He was, you can't help but be. With the way that season went.
Yeah, he was a little checked out. And so I think we'll see a better version. Also, Vic Fangio might be able to do some things that will keep him engaged, moving him around and doing stuff. So Jalen Ramsey right now would be my second pick, taking him in this.
Well, you framed it. You talk about the difference between the young guys and then the guys who've done it and have a long track record. And I've got 2 young guys already in the fold. So with my third pick, I'm going to get the veteran. I'm going to go with Darius Slay. Who's just the consistency with him is what stands out. You know what you're getting each and every year. He lines up. He's competitive. He posts. He's out there to play. To me, he's kind of the consummate professional. I think he's good for the room as well. So to me, I'm gonna go with big play Slay here with my third pick.
Okay, it's funny that you talk about big plays, and one of the reasons I'm gonna go with this guy is because he is a big playmaker. Now, some would say he gives it, and he takes it away. So he could be a bit of a double agent. But let's go ahead. Trayvon Diggs from the Dallas Cowboys. A couple years ago, we saw the interception numbers were ridiculous. They were through the roof. But when you're drawing up a cornerback, you want them long. You want them with good ball skills and vision and instincts. And he was more consistent last year, not as productive. But Trayvon Diggs is on his way to being an outstanding quarterback in this league. He's already flashed it and shown it. We just want to see more consistency from him.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, the way the game's played right now, you want to take the football away. So, he gives up some plays, but man, if you're giving us some extra possessions as well, I think you live with that with the way the game's played right now. It's kind of the college game leaking into the NFL game. All right, I'm tempted to go a couple different directions here with this next one. I'm just gonna go with Lattimore. I'm gonna go with Marshawn Lattimore. There's a couple different places I thought about going, but again, a long track record. I think this is a Saints team. A lot of expectations this year. I think he has a big year for them. You can still match him up. He can play size. He can play against the smaller, quicker guys. He's got a complete skill set. He's been one of the best corners for quite some time now, so I'll go with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic player. He certainly has all the traits and tools that you look for on the perimeter. And you're right, when he's locked in and loaded and healthy, he plays at a phenomenal level. And so I understand him being there. How about we go with somebody from that division who has been solid, but maybe got lost a little bit last season? That's AJ Terrell from the Atlanta Falcons.
That was my choice. That was my struggle, was those two guys, picking which one you want. I don't think there's a wrong choice.
Yeah, so with AJ Terrell, I mean, you talk about someone who has been fantastic. He can go on the edge and play man-to-man and be left alone. He can play zone. He has all those things. Coming out of Clemson, we felt like maybe he came off the board a little soon. But, man, give the Falcons credit because they know exactly what they have in him, and he has played at a level that is worthy of getting all-star consideration.
Yeah, no, those two players I think travel together. I could have gone either way there. All right, still some really intriguing names that I'm left with here. I always like with my fifth pick, I always like to kind of bet on somebody's, maybe betting a little bit more on the future with them. Young player that's emerging, and I'm going to do it with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to go Trent McDuffie. Ooh. Trent McDuffie just knows how to play, man. He is always in phase, always in position, incredibly smart and instinctive. I think this is, we saw it last year, what he can do. I think you see a big jump this year. Again, you want to play him inside, he's excellent. You need him to hold up on the outside, he can do that as well. Very versatile player. So I'm going to go with McDuffie here as my young guy that I'm betting on here for the future.
Okay, I like the fact that you're betting on a young guy. I'm going to bet on someone who has played at a high level but has been very, very quiet the last year or two. How about Marlon Humphrey from the Baltimore Ravens? And some of this is the system has changed that he's playing in. You think about what they were doing previously under Wink Martindale, more man-to-man, more stuff. Mike McDonald comes over and kind of changes what they do in the secondary. I still like Humphrey, not only because he can play outside, but he's shown the ability to play inside. As the Baltimore Ravens play better, we'll have an opportunity to see Marlon Humphrey have more opportunities. I think that reignites the conversation about him being one of the best at his position.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his as well. Been doing it for a long time. Remember the knock on him coming out was couldn't play the ball. He was always in great position, couldn't play the ball. And I was wondered, can you ever improve on that? Well, he absolutely has at the NFL level. And he's going to punch the ball out every time he gets as well.
He's mastered the peanut punch. He got it. He took it from Peanut Tillman. He's coming there. He's learned how to knock the ball loose. More turnovers. We'll get more of that conversation about Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, that was a fun one. There's your corner draft.